girl on the Anderson County team. She placed first at the Halls Invitational and also fifth at the region qualifier last year. Her future plans include going to ETSU to become a neonatal nurse practitioner. One of her favorite memories is competing against the Clinton Dragons at the in-school match and winning. Wrestles at 114. She is escorted by her mother and father, Danielle and John. She's been wrestling for 3 years and participates in the band percussion. She plans to attend ETSU next year for interior architecture. One of her favorite memories from her wrestling career is winning a match that she didn't think that she could win, and also seeing her team and her coaches congratulate her. Our next wrestler and senior at 190 pounds, Aiden Derry, also known as Braun. He's escorted by his mom, Kimberly, and his stepdad, David, along with his grandpa, Terry, who is a long supporter of the program. Braun has wrestled for 5 years. He plans to go to college to get his degree in business. One of his favorite memories in his wrestling career was when he won the Bobby Bates Invitational this year. Our next senior, wrestling at 215 and also at heavyweight throughout the year, Morgan Dye. Morgan is escorted by Chris Dye and Francis Long. He's been wrestling for about 10 years. He plans to study electrical engineering after high school, and one of his most fond memories of being a wrestler is beating Davy Crockett last week to qualify for the state dual championships. Next up, Kyle Buckner. Kyle wrestles at the 175-pound weight class. He is accompanied by his mother and father, Russell and Kim Buckner. Kyle's wrestled for about 6 years. Kyle's favorite memory from his wrestling career is winning his way back into the top 3 finish at the Bobby Bates tournament. He finished that tournament with a pin. Kyle Buckner. Let's take one more moment, congratulate these wrestlers, and more importantly, their parents for getting them to and from practices, tournaments, and all the other sacrifices that they have gone through to support their athletes. Thank you. Captains to the middle of the mat. Today's wrestling match will be the third time that these two teams have met this season. Both two meetings have been won by the Mavericks. Both have been very competitive. We anticipate a similar competitive match today.
Good afternoon and welcome to ACTV. We're at Anderson County High School today for the in-school match between Clinton Dragons and Anderson County Mavericks. My name is Dustin Hollifield. It's my debut on announcing. I'm normally behind the camera for Dragon Vision for football. So just bear with me on the announcing in a little bit. I do have a guy coming up to help me from Anderson County. He'll be here with me in just a second. We've already had the captains come out and do the coin flip. Now I'm going to pass it off to our Anderson County guy for the announcement. Here you go. Let me see the belt pack off. Hang on to it between us.
It's Justin. Right?
First up for your Anderson County Mavericks at 114.
Hey, Dustin.
Emily Fairbank.
We lose it.
Anderson County with a takedown.
We're kind of back here. We had a technical difficulty for just a minute.
Yep. Russell Buckner here with my buddy from Clinton,
Dustin.
We're just going to try to have a little bit of a conversation about some of our kids here at this wrestling. This is a great atmosphere. I know the camera can't see all the kids in the crowd, but I mean, it's a packed house in here. This is a lot of fun for the kids. Get a little bit of recognition, a little bit of fun. Looks like she's about got her stacked out here, doesn't she?
Yeah, it's getting close there. Was able to back out of it there. Yeah, one thing I like about this atmosphere is, you know, wrestling doesn't get a lot of exposure to the rest of the school. If you don't know about it, then you just don't know, and you don't get to see it that much. So these in-school matches I really like.
Yeah.
So the student body gets to see it and experience it and see the excitement.
Oh, she's looking for the near fall. Yep, there it is. Had her stacked up. Yeah, you're right. Emily Fairbanks has wrestled for us for a few years now, and she's a pretty good kid, really good kid, good wrestler, solid. But you saw that hug there at the end, and that's one of the things I like about these in-school matches at their place. They're rivals, but these kids are friends. They train all year around fun times with each other.
That is right. And not just these two schools, it's other schools too. I know. Yeah. I know Clinton practices with Scott County some kids from West. They practice a lot together, so it's definitely a community.
It really is. It's a small community. This is Brianna. She's wrestled for us for several years. She's a senior. Let's see if she can get her offense going.
So for Clinton, we have Ace Johnson up. She's a first-year wrestler, and she's really come a long way from the beginning of the season. Yeah. She's done quite well this year as a beginner.
She looks like she's got some heavy hands. Girl for Clinton's got some heavy hands on Brianna's head, moving her around. We'll see if Brianna can get to her offense here. We've had kids come out for our program that have said, hey, we didn't even know we had it. She's in on a shot. And you said your girl's name's Ace?
Ace, yeah.
Yep, if she can circle around behind her and she can get her two.
She was able to stuff the shot, but not got the two. There it is.
There's two. Now Brianna wants to try to work for an escape here and get 1 point.
Yeah. Looks like Ace is looking for the cradle.
Yep. Brianna's got her leg posted out there. You got to be careful with that. Looks like she's got her hands locked up. She'll want to go hip to hip here.
Yep. She's gonna
be careful and get reversed. Yep.
That happens. I see that happen a lot.
Well, and that just comes with experience. When she gets that cradle locked up, if she can go, reversal.
Going to be the battle of the flips, looks like.
Don't blink, folks. You might miss something.
She's gathered some back points, reset, and try to run another move and turn her back. Looking for the pin. There it is.
And winner by fall, the Clinton Dragons.
Good match. No, we had kids coming out for the team this year and last year that were like, hey, we didn't even know we had a wrestling team.
Right. The last and final senior girl from the Anderson County Mavericks, Kinley Reed.
Kinley's one of the kids from Anderson County that I do know. I've known her for a really, really long time. She was just a little bitty guy.
She's been around for a minute.
My wife owned a daycare, and she used to come to her daycare.
She's got her front headlock, snapped her down. Looks like she's got to be careful, don't get too high. Now she can run a half, which is typically what she likes to run, is a half.
She's looking for a wing on the right side there.
Now she's got that arm barred up. That's called an arm bar. It's very different than a jiu-jitsu arm bar. It's not the same thing. And the ref's watching for all these things because they have to keep the arm, when they get that arm bar in, they have to keep it at a certain angle.
That's correct.
So it's not potentially dangerous for the defending wrestler.
Yeah, we've seen that called a lot at the region tournament.
Yep.
That Clinton and Anderson County was both at.
Well, that's really the ref's #1 job. Of course, he's scoring the match, but he has to look for anything that's potentially dangerous for either wrestler, and he'll blow the whistle like he did right there.
Correct.
And it doesn't mean it's a penalty or anything. I mean, there are illegal moves.
There is.
That he will award points off of if you try an illegal move. But most times it's just, if they see something that's a little bit sketchy or somebody might have a joint in a dangerous position, they'll just blow the whistle and let them reset.
Yeah.
Nice sit out and reversal here.
We do see that. She's got to get that arm free. Get that arm off of her.
That's pretty deep. Now Kinley will want to get her hips out to the side and tee her up, get up on her toes.
And Kayla's trying to fight to her stomach.
Yep, she wants to turn and come through to her stomach. bridge out. There you go. That's some good defense.
Not before Kinley was able to get 3 near fall points, though.
Now she's going to run around her head if she can and try to turn her over.
Yep.
Looking for the near fall. There it is. She's got her turn. It looks like she's going to roll through and come back on top of her if she's not careful.
Now Kayla needs to circle behind to get her reversal points, and she's got it. And reverse again. Oh, he didn't give it to her. Didn't have control.
Yep. They have to have control of the other wrestler because the ref does give it sometimes a little bit of time for reactionary time, don't they?
They do. Absolutely. And I mean, for instance, Kayla did not get her 2 reversal points there. I thought she would have had that. But,
yeah, that really could have. She really could have got those. Nobody, I don't think, would have argued if she'd have got those 2 points.
They chose to go neutral in the second period.
There's another takedown. Kinley's got that arm bar in, got her barred up. And she's...
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, no problem. You know, one big thing between high school wrestling and college wrestling that we're seeing right now is, you know, college wrestling, you'd be getting some riding time right now. And,
yes, yeah, there's some additional rules. And, of course, takedowns count for 3 points in college now instead of 2 is in high school. The periods are longer also.
Right.
You know, they wrestle for a total of 7 minutes in college versus 6 minutes in high school. But I'm telling you, that's the longest 6 minutes. Looks like Kinley's got a half sunk in. She's got her over on her back, but they're out of bounds. Kinley looks like she's in control of this match, up 7-0, 1 minute to go in the second period.
Yeah. How long's Kinley wrestling?
She's wrestled
here?
I think she started wrestling with our youth program in middle school.
That is right.
So she's wrestled quite a bit.
Yeah. Kayla for Clinton, she is a second-year wrestler. I think a sophomore.
There's two back points. It looks like Kayla got her 2 reversal.
And she stacked her.
Uh-oh. She's got Kinley on her back. You got
to get heavy here and get wide. She's getting a little too high.
Kinley wants to fight her. Kinley wants to fight her arm through.
10 for Clinton.
Yep. Big win for Clinton for Kayla.
Winner by fall, the Clinton Dragons.
We hope Kinley's okay here. Maybe she's just a little shook up here.
Yeah, you get turned like that a lot of times. You get an arm, or she's holding her back, so probably tweaked the muscle in her back a little bit. And
it's a very physical sport, very demanding.
That's correct.
A lot of our wrestlers, even right now for the high school team on the boys' side, are banged up as well.
Yeah, they've had a long road here recently, as Clinton has. You know.
Yep.
Anderson County has
for us. Michael Matson, he's wrestled. I think he's got a little bit, maybe a year or 2 of experience for Anderson County. He's still trying to get into his own little bit. Who's this for?
This is Aaron. He's a freshman, first-year wrestler. This is a 105-pound weight class.
Yep. 106.
With the early takedown.
So Michael got to stuff the shot and was able to go behind and get 2. Looks like Aaron's almost. Oh, he was to his feet.
Yep.
He's trying to get an escape point if he can get away. Michael wants to keep him down and try to turn him, get some back points, or maybe get the pin.
Good mat return. He can get up. He just can't quite break the hands, get away. There's a trap.
Good roll. He caught his arm
Reversal.
and reversed him with a pretty good roll there.
He got away with a locked hands there. He's looking for a cradle, looks like. Or was. He's looking for a butcher there, maybe. He needs to come underneath with those hands.
Or block with his right knee and pull him forward, what's called a marshal. Michael's trying to get up to his feet. There it is. There. Now he should have his 1. That's a loss of control.
Yep.
So we're looking at 3-2 for the score now. He's in on a leg. Can he finish? Can he finish? There's
out of bounds.
Two. Oh, he was out of bounds. They didn't get it to him. Still a pretty good shot. 10 seconds left in the period. Is somebody going to score?
Doesn't look like it. Oh.
Uh-oh, he's in on a leg.
He tried.
No,
not going to get it.
All right, let's see. Good period by both wrestlers. Let's see who wins the toss here and what they elect. Looks like red chooses down. That's pretty common, I think, from across most places.
It is. It is. That's my go-to. That was a nice roll and escape. He's not quite got the escape yet. But yeah, as a coach, my go-to is always choosing down. I mean, you have
so many options.
Well, you have the best option of scoring the most points from that. Yeah. So if you get away and get an escape, that's one, and reshoot, and a takedown, that's two, and then 3 back points off of that. So you have the opportunity to get 6 back or 6 points. So if you're down,
Michael's got him on his back.
Yep, looking for the pin.
Now he's got a half in on the other side. Can he turn him with it though? Doesn't look like he's going to be able to turn him with that other side half.
Aaron's posting his leg out, trying to get his hips up. He's got the half in on that side now, looking to rolling. He's got an arm, wrist on the other side.
Oh, you got to be careful there. You got too high with it.
You need to just get your head back, get above the hips, and get his 2 reversals. That's
There's one.
You know, that's a big thing with new wrestlers is realizing their opportunity when to score points. And I mean, right there was an opportunity to score 2. He did score 1 with the escape, but he could have been 1 more up on him.
Well,
right there.
I know that some of the older kids on our team, there's one of them in particular, he on the Anderson County team has told me, he said his favorite thing to watch is some of the newer inexperienced wrestlers because you never know what's going to happen.
That is true. That is true. They're a loose cannon sometimes.
They are. Anything can happen.
Good shot right there.
Yep, good double leg.
And then a lot of the newer wrestlers, they get to that position, and they're now what do I do,
Yeah. So, well, wrestling is a sport that rewards experience, I think, more than any other sport.
I agree.
Anderson County 9, Clinton 7.
So 9-7, pretty good match going into the third period.
And Anderson County chose neutral.
Yep. So for you folks listening at home, I mean, Anderson County chose neutral. That means on your feet. So they're starting from on your feet.
Oh, he pulled him right onto him. Circle behind, get his 2 right here.
Yep, he needs to drive into him. Keep driving. That should be 2.
Anderson County got the 2 instead of Clinton.
He needs to stay behind his arms, wrestle behind his arms, and keep his hips behind him. Clinton's got 1 escape. Anderson County kid wants to post on his knees and get his hips back.
Clinton guy
lift an elbow here and go behind. You see him trying to go behind. Now he should be able to cross face from there. Circle behind and get 2 more.
2.
And he does, and that brings the score 14-8. Looks like Michael's got a half. Trying to run it. He'll want to circle the head and see if he can get the opposing wrestler to turn over.
Aaron's looking for an escape right here. Didn't quite get it.
That's so hard to do. You'd think it'd be easy to get away from somebody, but
it is.
when somebody's really got a hold of you and they don't want to let you go, it's hard to get away from them.
It is. As I've mentioned, I'm also a coach for our Clinton Dragon youth wrestling team, and our middle schoolers. I get in there and sprawl with them sometimes, and they're, you know, I'm 180 pounds, but I'm not what I used to be. And
that's right.
You know,
looks like Michael got the win here.
These 140, 150 pound kids, you know, they give me all I want sometimes.
Some of our 170 pound kids give us all we want. You know, my son, you know, he wrestles for Anderson County, Kyle, at the 175 weight class, and I kid everybody, I can get him, but I have to get him pretty quick because I may have old man strength, but I got old man cardio.
Exactly. I'm in the same spot as that.
Trip Hare is a junior for us. He's been wrestling for about 5 or 6 years now. He's actually wrestling right now with a broke thumb.
Oh yeah.
He's broken his thumb a couple weeks ago, and he's wrestled tough for us.
Yeah. Now this wrestler for Clinton is Aiden, and he has only been wrestling about 2.5 weeks now.
Oh wow.
And what I've seen out of him in the past few tournaments is he's done really well. He's very scrappy. He's quick. He's green.
Yep.
You know, he's not doesn't have the experience yet.
You can do a lot with somebody like that. You can a kid that's willing to put in work and is quick and athletic. You know, but it does take a lot of experience to get really good in this sport.
It does.
And the only way you're going to get it is by doing this right here. And it's tough on them to go out there and lose. You know, I've seen kids in our high school program that came in new, never won a match the entire season. Trip's a little unorthodox sometimes, but he does a really good job. He's got really good body awareness in space. He's a pretty good athlete. Plays baseball for the high school team, and he's a competitor. He's a really tough kid. It's hard to stop him.
So he had a lot of awareness there. He got his 3 back points, and then he let go of that move and transitioned to another move and run a 3/4 on him and got the pin.
Yep. Tripp's turned into one of our better wrestlers on the team. I mean, he's got a lot of experience and a lot of matches this year, and he's won some really big ones for us. No, we've had some of our first-year kids that would go through a whole season, not win a match, and then, you know, they continue to work hard, and they come back the next year, and then they start winning matches.
It's like the light bulb turns on.
It is, absolutely.
I see that with our youth program as well. First year is, you know, you're trying to teach them the basics, and then second year they show up and the light bulb has been turned on, and they just get it, you know. And that's one of, as a coach, that's one of the favorite things to see is just them.
The light bulb come on.
The light bulb come on, and them hit the ground running the second year and do really well.
Yeah, Edmund that just came out for us is a freshman. He's our 120-pound kid, scrappy little dude. He's got an injury on his elbow right now, but he's wrestled tough for us all season. Really came through for us against David Crockett and was instrumental in us getting that win.
Wood.
You know, Mac Wood's another kid he's a first-year wrestler.
Right.
You know, but he shows up every day and he works hard. He's never wrestled before, but he continues to show up. He continues to work hard, and he's got a great attitude. And, you know, we're looking for big things from him once he gets some experience and some time in the program.
Sure. We've got a couple of forfeits going on right now. So we're going to take just a break for just a second to catch our breath.
Hayden Machete.
I'm trying to be what I'm destined to be.
Up next, we've got Caden with Anderson County and Caleb Kendall for Clinton.
Caleb Kendall.
Caught him with a head throw
Today's match with a record of
to get the takedown.
He's a freshman and a first-year varsity wrestler.
Yeah, Caden Machete, he's another kid that he's a freshman. He just kind of showed up this year. He had wrestled 1 year a couple of years ago, and we convinced him to come out because we didn't have a whole lot of kids in that 120, 126, 132 range, and we needed some kids there.
Sure.
And you know, Cotton he's stepped up and he's come through and won a few matches for us, but he's still very young, very green. But he's able to scrap through and get a few wins for us here and there.
Yeah.
He loves that cowboy move. That's kind of his go-to move.
That's a good move.
He really likes it.
Caleb knows that move. Caleb for Clinton, he's been around. He's a senior this year, and he's been wrestling as long as I can remember. As long as I've been around the program.
We've watched him. He's a good kid.
He is.
Now, it's his older brother Lucas, right?
That's correct.
So a couple of years ago, or I guess it was actually last year at the Maryville Invitational when Lucas, of course, got hurt with his arm. Of course, all of Anderson County, and that just kind of shows how it really is a community. When Lucas was hurt and laying on the mat, all the Anderson County guys were parents, wrestlers, everybody was over there praying for him. And then, of course, when he got up, they were all cheering for him. And I think all the Clinton parents saw that. And there's a lot of love between these two programs. But now they're fierce competitors. They'll fight each other on the mat. But, but as soon as it's over, you know, they're friends again.
There's more often than not, that's what you see, you know, out of all the tournaments we go to. You know, we go from Chattanooga to Bristol, and, you know, for our youth program, of course, high school goes a little further, but, you know, there's most of the time there's not bad blood.
Yep. And
there is occasionally, but.
Yep. Cotton, he'll turn into a pretty good wrestler for us. He's just got to stay in the room, get a little more experience. He's a scrappy dude.
Yeah. Caleb got the pin there.
Yep.
Now introducing Xander Stewart.
Xander Stewart's another kid for us that just kind of showed up. He's a young kid, hasn't ever wrestled before. We're hoping we can keep him in the program and get him some experience.
Yeah. From Anderson County, a sophomore, Toby Day.
And then Toby Day's another kid. He's a sophomore. Never wrestled before. And he shows up and he does the work, and he just keeps coming back. He just keeps coming back. And it's going to take him a while to get there, but he's a competitor and he loves to compete. He absolutely does his best to be physical. And he has improved so much from where he was at the beginning of the season.
Bryce for Clinton, this is his second year wrestling. Nice takedown there.
Yep. Get a little ankle pick.
He's very quick. And he's come a long way from last year. He was instrumental last year. And there's been at times this year I thought that he was kind of off a little bit, but he's looking like he's on his game today. He's looking for a cradle there and didn't quite lock it up and give up the escape.
Okay, he's able. Stuffed his shot. Pretty good defense. At the beginning of the season, he would not have been able to stuff that shot or defend that cradle. It's just amazing what 1 year does. He's going to have to figure out how to defend that ankle pick. So that was a pretty nice slip by to get behind him and get his two. You know, and he's competitive in some of these matches. I mean, he doesn't. As soon as he gets some experience and a little bit of time in a program, in a weight room, we're looking for really big things from him.
Yeah.
because of his work ethic.
Right. Yeah, that's one thing. You know, work ethic with wrestling is if you want it, you got to go get it. You know.
Yeah,
it's
that's right.
It's all on you. You know. I mean, the dual side of it, which is kind of the format for today, is you know, it's all team. Part of it's team, I guess, and part of it's individual. You know, you got to go do your part for the team, right?
Yep.
We're about to finish up the dual season and transition to individual season. Then you know, it's there's still awards for team points and that sort of stuff in tournaments, but and overall stuff. But it's, you know, you're chasing that individual state championship at this point.
Yeah, and it's for those of you listening at home that maybe aren't sure about how this works. There's 14 different weight classes, and so each team sends out a kid at that weight class. They wrestle each other, and whoever wins, and depending on how they win, is it a really close match by points? Is it a lot of points, or do they pin the other kid? Depending on that, their team will get points based off of that. So a decision is 3 points for the team.
It's 3, and 5, right?
3, 4, 5, and 6. So 4 points. If they win by 8 points or more, up to 15, it's 4 points for the team. If they get to 15 points, if they get a lead on somebody, say 17-2, well, the match is over, and they call that a technical foul, and that's basically like a mercy rule,
right,
or a running clock in football. And the match is stopped. And then, of course, a pin, everybody knows what a pin is. And then if you get a pin, you get 6 points for your team.
Right. And same for a forfeit.
So that's exactly right.
That's why it's critical that you don't give up a forfeit if you don't have somebody in that weight class. You know, you want to make sure that you fill all of your weight classes.
Yep. And we've seen some of our kids, you know, some of these matches where we've had kids go out there that we knew were overmatched by their competitor. But what we tell them and what we hope to do is, hey, just don't get pinned.
Right.
Go out there and wrestle hard, be physical, and do not get pinned.
Yep.
And we've had some kids go up against some state finalists before, and they'll keep it to a decision, and that only gives the other team 3 points.
Right.
They're not able to get that 6 points because they pinned our kid, and that's huge in a setting like this, in a dual team format setting. And that's part of what we did against David Crockett.
Yeah.
You know, to qualify for state. And, you know, Clinton, to their credit, has really come a long way. I mean, the Clinton High School team this year is really tough. And you guys, even with a little bit of you're kind of like us, you don't have quite a complete roster.
Right.
You got some holes in your lineup. But you guys have wrestled tough and are much improved.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, you know, we went, Gibbs had their tournament up there, and we went up and won that one. And then we were back up there a couple weeks later for the sectionals. And
didn't you beat Gibbs twice this year?
We beat Gibbs again that night, which is you know, first time in history.
Gibbs is a great team.
They are.
Traditionally, you know, they're one of the powerhouses in the state.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Gibbs and Halls and Pigeon Forge and of course Maryville.
Yep.
Those are all Seymour. They're all top tier programs, you know.
Yep.
Of course, they've been around a lot longer than Clinton or Anderson County programs have been, but you know, it's
well, things like this match here. He looks like he went for a butcher. He's got him over on his back, looking for the pin.
Looks like he should have it right there.
Yeah, he's got him pretty close right there. He may have it, and there it is. But see, that kid wrestled. He was competitive, and he was in that match all the way to the end.
Yeah, that was a good match.
2.5 periods, and he was down by 1 point, leading a lot of that match. You know, that kid gets a little bit more experience, both of them.
Yeah.
Now introducing.
They'll be tough to deal with.
That they will.
Anderson County, Caden Reed.
So Caden Reed is our reserve 150-pounder. He's wrestled for us for a couple of years.
I think we are
Anderson County, a sophomore with a record of 21-10. Max Wolfley.
So Max is a kid I know. and
kid.
he's a great kid, great wrestler. I was giving him a hard time at the regional tournament. I told him I was going to rough him up a little bit, and he's like, no, we want a good even, good even match right here, So
now, who's he going against from Clinton
it's,
here?
Parker Sanchez, and Parker's
a pretty good wrestler.
Second or third year wrestler, and he is a good wrestler.
He's really athletic, strong, quick. I've watched him wrestle a couple of years now. I didn't know how many times. Man, that was a good. Max went in for that sweep single, and Parker was able to dodge it and sprawl out of it.
Yeah, both of these are well matched, I think.
This should be an entertaining match.
It will be. Like it was a few weeks ago when I seen
Max
it.
will want to stuff the head here, cross face if he can, try to break that grip, come up. Now,
good escape out of that by Parker.
Now, what grade is Parker? Do you know? Is he a junior? Or?
He's junior or senior.
Junior, senior, okay.
Yeah, I'm unfortunately, I don't know the grades of all of them.
Yeah.
Most of them I do.
It's hard to keep up with all of them. Yep, you got to keep circling. Max wants to grab that ankle and keep going behind there, and that should be 2.
Got the 2. Parker needs to
try to get up to his. He needs to put that elbow to the mat and try to fight that bar.
That's become. It's always been a good move, but you see moves that that kids use, and then it goes away for a year or 2, and then they come back, and that's one I've seen a lot more of this year.
Well, the bar is a good move because you have a lot of power with
Absolutely.
that and a lot of leverage. As you can see him, trying to go over. He'll want to get him rolling, and he'll want to get his hips down. Yep, Max transitioned over. Did he get back points out of that?
He did not give him any.
Did not give him any.
So Parker done a good job of rolling out of that. Parker's one of those unorthodox kids. He does things a little bit different sometimes. He likes to leg ride a lot, which when you can do it, make it works really well. But it can also get you in trouble.
Yeah, that's right. You can get yourself in a lot of trouble really quick if you make a mistake when you're riding legs. Yeah, we used to see a lot of Petersons back in the day, and you don't see it as much anymore.
You don't. And it's that's another move that it works, but I found it's kind of hard to teach to the younger kids.
You almost have to be an experienced kid with a really good body awareness to learn that move.
That is absolutely true. So when I first started coaching 6 or 7 years ago now, a lot of the kids that we had on our team at the time, the Kendall brothers were there. That's probably the only ones on the high school that we had at the time. We taught that move quite a bit, but since then it's kind of we've not gotten to that point with them, I guess.
Max is trying to get that bar, trying to get him rolled over. He's got him turned. Was he able to catch the other arm? Looks like he's got the other arm, and he had him stacked up with it.
And winner by fall, Max Wolfley.
Max competes in the off season. That's another part of the piece of the puzzle, if you will. Some of these kids, they wrestle the freestyle and Greco.
Right.
For those of you listening at home, there's other styles of wrestling in the off season.
Anderson County, a junior with a record of 19-10.
We'll let these kids get introduced.
Preston.
Emery Preston, he's our 144 for Anderson County. He's been in our program for, I think, 3 or 4 years now. Pretty good wrestler, got a good low single.
For Clinton is a kid named Tyson. I'm not super familiar with him. I think he's a first-year wrestler. He might be a second year. I don't know what grade he's in.
He was able to get out of that. That was a really tight half that Emery had on him.
Yeah.
He was able to roll through it.
Yeah, that's a big part of wrestling is being able to scramble out of stuff.
Yep.
That's probably
just being relentless.
Yep. Just no giving up.
You see Emery trying to ride legs here. We were talking about that earlier. He's got his leg in, and you got to be careful with that because there are some pretty good counters. Now he's hipping over, and he's cross facing, and he's got his shoulders turned.
He needs to there he goes, needs to turn into that.
Yep.
There you go.
That was a good ankle grab there. And we were talking about getting in trouble with riding legs. If you make one little mistake, that's exactly what happens.
Absolutely. So, what I'm seeing right now with newer wrestlers is, and I've got one on the middle school team that's notorious for this, is pulling your opponent on top of you.
Yes.
And Tyson just done that, and
it's very frustrating.
He's paying for it right now.
Yep.
And winner by fall, Emery Preston.
He's wrestled tough for us all season, though. Emery has, and he's gotten better as the years went on.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's true for most of our kids.
He's the second year.
No, I think he's wrestled for 3 or 4 years now. He just keeps coming back, and he gets better every year.
That's all we can ask.
Put in work and try to get better.
Yep.
And have fun. I think we forget that sometimes.
Heath.
Yeah, especially at this point in the season, they're tired and they've worked really hard.
They're beat up a little bit.
They're beat up, muscles are tweaked and whatnot.
This is Noah Heath for us. Noah is I think he's a freshman. This kid here, is
and your starter at 157 pounds, a junior, Isaiah Tuckey.
Now I got to tell you a little bit about Isaiah. All right, Isaiah Tuckey. His nickname in the room is Smiley because he's always smiling.
Right.
He has a great attitude, and all the coaches have said they would take a room full of Isaiahs if they could because this is a kid that is a great teammate, great attitude, shows up, doesn't complain, and does every single thing you ask him to do. If he loses a match, it's only because he's physically outmatched.
Right. So this is Tucker.
And Isaiah's a little bit light at this weight. I mean, he's typically a 150-pound kid.
Right.
He's wrestling up because Evan has got the 150 weight class. And see, there it is. Nice head and arm throw. But Isaiah's just a great kid. We're really super high on him and proud of him. The way he's progressed this year, we're looking for big things from him.
Yeah. When you get those kids that just kind of light up the room and that sort of stuff, it's a pleasure to be around.
He really is.
Your starter and varsity wrestler, a junior with a record of 28-8, Josh Bingham.
It looks like Coach is putting some of the younger, less experienced guys in today.
Let them get matches and experiences.
So, up for Clinton is actually my son, Roman
Holyfield.
He's normally wrestles at 156.
So he's wrestling up a little bit.
He's wrestling up today. So
very successful.
he's a third-year wrestler.
Last year,
Wrestled for me in middle school his 8th grade year, and
this year
he wrestled
champion of the Iris
his freshman year, and he's a sophomore this year. So last year his season got ended a little short at the Halls tournament.
third at the Bobby Bates.
He dislocated his collarbone from the sternum.
It's hard to watch, isn't it?
It is, and we got a call a few days later after he had a CT scan and said we need to go to Vanderbilt immediately to have surgery. So we left at like 9 o'clock that night and headed to Nashville, and he had surgery the next morning, and he's all healed up and back to wrestling, which I'm
good deal. That's good that they can get back
for.
on the mat and they doesn't let it keep him down. Josh is a kid that we're all really high on. He has had a very successful junior year. Has been in some really, really tough matches with the number 1, number 2 kids in the state. He's pinned a lot of ranked kids, and we're looking for big things for Josh. He's just a great kid, probably the hardest worker in the room. Works outside the room, in the room. Just a phenomenal work ethic in this kid.
And a winner by
got the
fall
pin there.
in the first round, Josh Bingham.
But you said your son was injured, you know.
Yeah.
So full disclosure, you know, my son was injured as well his sophomore year. He actually broke his arm, and he actually broke it the day before we were supposed to do our in-school match like today.
Oh yeah.
Now introducing from Anderson County, Joe Rogelski.
Joe is coming off of a broken thumb as well. He just got out of a cast, so he's not been able to wrestle for us.
Yeah.
But he's wrestled for Anderson County, you know, in the youth program, and
He did.
3 years of high school.
Yeah. Yeah, Joe.
And he's improved every year.
Yep, he has. And the transformation that kid has went through, you know, I knew him when he was in elementary school. He went with my daughters in Clinton. And the transformation that kid, you know, is just incredible.
This is Kyle Buckner for us, a 4-year starter. And full disclosure, this is my son. This is the one that broke his arm his sophomore year. So we were actually watching this match, the in-school match, his sophomore year from the hospital room, right before he went into surgery. He had 2 plates and 12 screws put in his right arm. And now he knows Lucas Reynolds. They're friends outside of here. They've wrestled a few times this year.
Yeah, Lucas is he's a 3rd or 4th year wrestler. I had him in our youth program. He's a freshman this year, and he's done fairly well. He's still adjusting to the high school level of wrestling.
Yeah, it's a big jump when you go to high school. It really is.
It is.
Everybody's faster. Everybody's stronger. Everybody's more experienced.
Yep. So.
Lucas, you know, we've wrestled him a couple times. Lucas is hard to stick. He is. He's a scrappy guy. He's squirrely. He's actually pretty strong.
He is strong. And you know, the difference between last year and this year, you know, he's gained probably 30 pounds in the last year, and it's all muscle that he's put on.
Yeah.
And you know, I was sparring with him at practice a lot last year, and you know,
Kyle's trying to lock up a cradle.
Yep.
He needs to get hips over on the same side.
He's getting there
and roll over.
Hips up.
He looks like he was going to do a suicide, but for a second, cradle.
Not quite able to get him rolled over, but
he's tough to roll.
Maybe he's going to roll him forward here.
Yeah, he might. That's that suicide cradle, and he lost it.
Lucas got out of broke the grip on the cradle. So, you know, that's one thing with my kids is, you know, as soon as you feel that them locking a cradle up, start fighting those hands. You know, and
get your belly and fight hands.
And they just don't do it sometimes, and it drives me crazy. But you know, no matter how much you coach it, you know, it's easy to, as a coach, to say, hey, this is what you got to do. But in the moment when you're the one getting it done to you, you're just trying to. It's almost you're trying to survive. You know, try to fight for your life to get out of that, so to speak. So
looks like Kyle's got a bar locked up. He's trying to get him turned, and Lucas is hard to turn now. If you turn him, you've done something. There's a pin. And Kyle and Lucas are actually friends, like I said, outside of this.
First round pin.
Yeah, I've watched him wrestle. You know, the tournaments that we've been at together, I've been able to see him wrestling. You know,
Lucas is going to be he's going to be hard to contend with in the future.
He will be. Absolutely.
190 pounds, a senior with a record of 32-5. Aiden Derry.
Aiden's another one that I would say is a little bit unorthodox sometimes.
Very much so.
You know, he's fun to watch.
You never know what he's going to do.
That's right.
But he's won a lot of matches for us, and I think he just throws a lot of people off that are expecting a traditional style wrestler, and they get in here against Braun, as we call him, and they just don't know what to do with him.
Right.
And he's really a strong, agile guy with great natural hip control.
Right.
He's hard to turn.
11-2. Eli Bratton. Introducing another 215-pounder from Anderson County.
He wrestles around 190 or 215. He bounces back and forth between those two weight classes. He's done a good job for us. wins a lot of matches, wrestles some really tough kids.
Right.
Now Christian Brown, you see here getting announced,
Yeah.
new addition to the team. Somebody that first-year wrestler has showed up and put in some work, and we're hoping we can get some good things out of him. He shows up, good attitude, works hard in the room.
Christian's another one I've known for a long time. I had him in Awana in the church years ago, and he was always life of the party. You know? He's something else.
He brings a lot of that to the team.
He does.
And we're thankful to have him. Morgan Dye, another senior for Anderson County. Didn't wrestle last year, was hurt last year.
And up from Clinton, Dalton Kendall.
We got the third Kendall brother.
Yep. We've seen Dalton a lot this year. Great kid, great wrestler. Him and Morgan are good friends.
Yep.
I think they're 2-1 this year. Morgan has won 2 and lost 1 to Dalton this year.
Yeah.
So they're pretty well matched wrestlers.
Dalton, he's been on fire here lately, and doing really well. Always exciting to watch him. I used to be able to throw him around a little bit when
not so much anymore now.
Not so much anymore. No, I've not been able to in years. Honestly, he's a very strong kid.
Oh yeah. Well, he's a great kid. You know, great family.
Absolutely.
We know all of them. Really fond of them. Those wrestlers. And a lot of good friendships. You know, I mean, they're battling each other out here on the mat, but great folks down there.
Dalton likes the slide by and the underhooks.
Yep.
To get his opponent down. That's what he's been looking for here.
Yeah, and Morgan is practicing with Kyle a lot on underhooks because Kyle really likes underhook too. So when in practice, Morgan's able to get a little bit of reps on how to fight against an underhook because Kyle will throw that in on him. But Dalton's a lot bigger than Kyle and a lot stronger than Kyle.
Right.
So we'll see if Morgan can handle that.
He's defending it fairly well so far. Dalton, you know, that's his move. That's what he's locked in on. There's obviously as wrestling coaches, you want your opponent or your wrestler to take shots. That's what we preach all the time. And but you know, when you get into these bigger guys, it's a little harder to take shots. You know, so
you got to be careful because you dive in underneath somebody's 200 and something pounds coming crashing down on the back of your head. You feel that.
Absolutely.
If they sprawl on you.
And then then that's that much harder to get out from under. So.
You know, Morgan, against David Crockett, we bumped him up to heavyweight. Morgan only weighs about, 205, maybe 210. And he wrestled against the number 6 kid in the state at heavyweight, and that kid weighed 270 pounds.
Oh, wow.
So he was giving up a lot of weight, and he beat him both times. But the first match, when he wrestled him, he actually went in on a shot, and the guy sprawled on him, so Morgan had 270 pounds coming down on top of his head.
Yeah.
And when he won that match, but when he come off, he was like, "Yeah, I'm not ever doing that again."
Yeah, not a place I want to be.
That was not. He said that was not smart.
Yeah, Dalton was looking for a stack there, and he had it, but he was able to roll out of it.
Dalton's pretty tough on top here. He's keeping his hips in good position, keeping weight on Morgan. Morgan should be trying to build from here, and he's not. But Morgan's a pretty tough guy too. These guys are pretty evenly matched.
Yeah, a lot of times Dalton he'll let a little pressure up off of him.
Looks like he's going for a butcher.
Yep. A lot of times he'll get a little pressure off of him, just let him base up, and then he can run his move that he's looking for at that point in time. So he's got the butcher locked up. He's just trying to get him turned over at this point. He's abandoned that thought and a nice Granby roll.
Good explosive movement by Morgan to get his one escape. We'll see if somebody can get a takedown here.
I've got to go back to our wrestler from Clinton, Parker Sanchez. He is a senior, so I've gotten a couple text messages.
Okay.
from a few viewers correcting me. So thank you to Jessica and my wife Dana.
I might need to check mine. Nope, I don't have any text messages, so apparently I haven't messed up too terribly bad yet. I might hear about it later, though. So it looks like Dalton shows down. He's going to try to get his escape, get 1 point, tie it up. And if nobody gets a takedown and the match ends at 1-1, they'll go to overtime.
Yeah. And in these, I was at a top 100 tournament in Cleveland this past weekend, and we had a kid that went all 3 overtimes.
Really?
And those kids were exhausted at the end of the day.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I don't know that everybody realizes just how physically exhausting this sport can be.
Yeah. I mean,
train for hours to go for 6 minutes.
Right. You got kids that are runners, and the only thing I could equate this to is, you have long distance runners, and you got, track kids that, they might sprint 100 yards or 200 or meters rather. But this is all out. Everything you have for, 2 minutes at a time. So
it's every part of your body. It's not just any one thing.
That's correct.
And certainly, there's great athletes and great competition and conditioning in every sport. What's he calling? Stalling on both. That's an unusual call, but I think the ref's just trying to force a little bit of action here.
Yeah.
That could pay off. There's only about a minute left in the match. If somebody gets a stall call, that could be the difference in the match if somebody's not working.
That's right. So Dalton's trying to slide back a little bit and step over his leg and trap it. And he had it, but he lost it. Now he needs to step over there.
Dalton's just such a stout guy. It's so hard to do anything with him.
We've got about 20 seconds to get his escape here. His left leg's trapped. He got it loose now. Time's going to run out on him.
Looks like we're getting ready to go to overtime.
And your winner by decision, Morgan Dye.
Did not go to overtime. Morgan just won that match 1-0. And that's how tight these matches can be. I kind of got lost in the wrestling there and forgot the score was 1-0. I thought it was 1-1.
Now up at 285 pounds, a sophomore, Slade Alley.
We really like those Kendall kids.
Yeah, they're great kids.
Our heavyweight Slade, good kid. Comes up to the room every day, shows up, does work, great effort.
I'm not sure. I think yesterday.
And winner by forfeit, Slade Alley.
Yeah, I think yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, Dalton wrestled up and wrestled that kid.
Yeah.
The heavyweight yesterday as well.
And Slade will do a lot of, he'll get a lot better as he gets more experience. And that's really the only thing, that's only the missing component Slade has. He's got all the physical and mental tools. We're just looking to get him some experience. And as he gets experience, we think he'll progress very rapidly.
So we're going to circle back around and
so this is an exhibition match here. Yeah, Asa for us is a first-year wrestler. So she's brand new to the sport, has never wrestled before. But she shows up and puts in work, and she's young, and they just have to figure out that it's a very physical sport, and that's hard to learn. You have to learn how to be physical.
It was a nice shot that she tried to take there a moment ago, and couldn't make it stick. Kayla was able to sprawl and get some pressure on her out of that.
I'll tell you what, wrestlers like Kayla with that long reach make it really difficult for some of these people.
It is.
what I try to tell all of our new wrestlers and anybody that's thinking about coming out for the sport is don't worry so much about the wins and losses, at least the first year or two. It rewards experience, and you've got to get that experience.
Right.
But I tell them to take a mental snapshot of themselves when they first start the season, maybe their first week of practice ever in the wrestling room, and then make it through an entire season.
Right.
And when you get to the end of the season, take another mental snapshot and compare it to yourself at the beginning of the season.
See how far you made it.
And that's the process. That's all it is.
Yep, I agree.
And the wrestler you are at the end of the season, if you could wrestle yourself from the beginning of the season, you'd destroy that guy
Absolutely.
or girl. This is one of the things I'm most excited about is the girls wrestling. You know, it's growing. You know, it's the fastest growing sport in the country right now.
It is.
Lots of scholarship opportunities out there everywhere at colleges for girls wrestling.
Yeah, because they're, it's growing in high school and youth sports, but it's also growing in college.
It really is.
Well, in high school, girls can wrestle the boys, but if they do that, they have to wrestle
just
the state
boys.
tournament at the end of the year. So, so in high school, it's mostly girls versus girls. You see a girl every once in a while in a boys bracket, going up against a guy. Where the youth sports is different. They can do either or both.
Yeah, AAU, you see that a lot.
Yeah. So for the girls, it's an advantage to them because they can get double the mat time, double the matches.
And they get against tough competition.
Right. And a lot of the girls that I've seen, I'd put them up against almost any boys.
Yeah. There's some tough ones out there. Talking about girls wrestling growing, this doesn't have anything to do with Clinton or Anderson County, but the world under 17 world champions from right here in Tennessee. She's down the road down here in Cleveland. Piper Fowler.
Yep.
She won the under 17 world championship in Turkey just a couple of months ago. So it's really growing. It's taken off. Tennessee was one of the first states in the country to sanction girls wrestling.
I didn't
Looks
know
like
that.
Kayla's got her on her back with a half. Had a good shot earlier to get her down. Asa wants to try to fight through. If she can. And there it is.
And winner by fall, Clinton.
That's a really good job by both those girls.
Now up, from Anderson County, Danielle Connors.
So Danielle, she's a first-year wrestler for us, if you can believe it. But she is a little wrestling animal, and we have got really high expectations and hopes for her, for what she's able to do, and you'll see this.
Yeah. And she's going up against Clinton's Alyssa Gonzalez, and Alyssa is she's a sophomore this year, but she's wrestled pretty much her whole life. As long as I've known her, she's wrestled 6-7 years.
Yep. Pretty experienced.
She's pretty experienced. She's trying to fight the half at the moment.
Yep. And Danielle's still learning a lot of the techniques, and she picks them up really quick. But great athlete, great, fantastic body awareness in space. She's very aggressive. We're really looking for big things from her.
So one of Alyssa's probably one of the best things she can do is she's got a really good bridge.
Yep. You can see she's very strong in the bridge.
Yeah.
And winner by fall, Danielle Connors.
Wasn't quite enough.
We'd seen Danielle work out in the room and practice and put in great effort.
Anderson County.
A lot of grit and toughness, but then we really didn't know what we were going to get. And then we wrestled against Sevier County, and they brought in some girls, and she went out there and wrestled 3 girls from Sevier County and pinned all 3 of them.
Yeah.
We were like, well, where did this come from?
Right.
But she's just a fantastic kid.
Found the diamond in the rough, so to speak.
But I'm so glad we were able to get this done for these kids. let them have a little bit of fun. Wrestle in front of their home crowd. Looks like coaches are maybe doing some matchups for maybe some exhibition matches.
That's what it looks like.
Get some extra work in, some extra experience. Looks like Lucas is going to get to go against Braun, because Braun didn't get to wrestle. Of course, he wants to get a match in front of his school.
Right, yeah, absolutely.
Aiden Derry.
Lucas is a tough kid. You know, we know his dad, Josh, and
if he gets anywhere to be like Josh, he'll be doing great. You know.
Yeah.
Josh is a great guy. And
he really is. We've known Josh for years.
Yep.
From church.
He's a 3-time district champ, 2-time regional champ, and a 2-time state qualifier.
Lucas is doing a good job fighting this armbar and the wrist, posting his leg out.
Yeah, wrestling against Braun is an exercise in, you know.
Yeah, he doesn't quit. He's all time.
He is.
He doesn't lock in on one thing. He's always looking for the next thing. So
he stays very busy, and he really does a good job of keeping pressure on anybody he's wrestling. Doesn't let them breathe. Makes them defend a lot.
Yeah, Lucas is doing a fairly good job of rolling those wrists out, getting him off that wrist. But
yep.
And turning away from the half and peeling it off, and you know, he's defending it well.
Looks like Braun's trying for a cradle.
Yep.
Got it locked up. He needs to go. So yeah, that's a little unorthodox, trying to hook that leg like that, but he's got his knee in his back, and he gets the pin.
And winner by fall,
you know,
Derry.
I always teach my kids to start peeling those hands like we was talking about a minute ago, but once you get into that, into a cradle, it's hard to get out of that sometimes.
Yeah. Braun is just a great kid. Of course, we've had him over to our house. You know, Kyle and Braun are great friends, very, very close friends. They do a lot of things with each other. Eli's another one that's a little unconventional. He's very aggressive.
Something that you don't see very often is Dalton getting caught in a headlock.
Well, anybody that's wrestled Eli knows that he's got a quick, good shot, and he's a little unconventional at times too. But he does really good against some conventional wrestler type kids. Eli's pretty fearless from his feet. He'll take a shot against anybody, and he's got a really good shot. And he's not worried about getting stuffed, because if he gets on bottom, he's comfortable reversing people from the bottom position, and he's very good at it. And that says a lot. That gives a kid a lot of confidence to take a shot if they're not worried about getting stuffed and getting on bottom if they think they can reverse. I know Dalton's probably a little bit tired from just having previously wrestled.
Yeah, because they went the distance on that one. So
looks like Dalton tried to do a fat man roll on Eli, where he grabbed the elbow and tried to roll him.
Yep.
That's really Eli's signature move, and Eli knows that move.
He's got the keeping the hands on the inside of the thighs, you know, to block that. Dalton's glancing up at the clock to see how long he's got to ride this out. There he goes.
Dalton was really close to getting his one there.
He was. Just, you know, that out of bounds gets him every time.
Out of bounds, yeah. I mean, just a little bit of, a couple extra feet in bounds, I think he would have had it.
Yeah. Nope. Almost had it there.
Almost had it there, too.
Buzzer's going to get him. Going for the underhooks.
Yep.
He's defended that one well. was talking about takedowns a minute ago. Dalton, he can sprawl pretty well.
Yeah, we've seen him wrestle quite a bit. He's a really good wrestler,
Yeah.
strong, relentless. But this has all the makings of being a very, especially for those that know a little bit about wrestling, or being a very entertaining match.
Yeah. Good sprawl.
So he wants to try to snap Eli down. Eli wants to turn and face him.
Yep.
Good defense.
Tried to catch him in the cowboy there and limp armed out of it.
You know, this will be good to get our kids some experience. Of course, we're going to hold practice still after this today. We've got to get ready for Saturday, going out to Nashville, and that's going to be a very, very tough ordeal. Our kids are up for it. We're hoping they'll go out there and wrestle hard Saturday.
Coach Sloan chose down for him to maintain the lead or to protect the lead.
Yep. Well, Eli's good on bottom too. You'll see him here in a second. It's coming.
Yeah, that's kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier. Is why we choose bottom when we have the choices. You have the most opportunity to score points from there, but you can also protect your lead from there. Just don't get turned, right?
There went Eli. He tried a fat man roll there. Dalton read it, defended it. Hip heist there by Eli. Sit out and hip heist, trying to get behind Dalton. Dalton defended.
And Dalton looks a little worn down a little bit in that one.
Yeah, well, he's wrestled. This is two tough matches, pretty close together.
It is. And generally, they've a 45-minute
And
rule
winner
between
by
matches.
decision from Anderson County, Eli Bratton.
We're real high on Eli. We're hoping for great things from him. He's a kid that he don't care where he wrestles. You want him to wrestle up a weight class, he'll do it. He just doesn't care. He just wants to get out there and wrestle.
I remember last year it seemed like he was wrestling up some. So
he wrestled up all last year. I think he wrestled the majority of the year. I think at 220. Of course, the weight class has changed a little bit.
Right.
But I don't think he weighed but about 180 something pounds. And, he 190 and wrestled 220. Was giving up 30 pounds every match, but he didn't care. He just wanted to be on the mat.
Right.
And he won a lot of matches for us.
That's you can't ask for anything more than that. Just wanting to get them on the mat and have the chance to win.
Now, who's this for you guys?
I'm gonna be honest, my eyesight's a little bad. I can't.
Now up from Anderson County, a freshman, Ray Anderson.
He's a senior.
And from Clinton, Ben DeWalt.
Ben.
Okay.
His name was right there, but I was waiting on Clint Wolfley to give me his name. He's a senior. I think this is his first year wrestling, and so he's not had a whole lot of mat time. I've not been around him a whole lot, so don't know a ton about him.
Well, this has the potential to be an entertaining match because Ray's a first-year wrestler for us as well. He just showed up and started wrestling for us, and it looks like he's able to get him down to his back, getting some back points currently. I don't know that he'll be able to pin him from there. He's got that arm out. Yep. Now he's to his belly.
Now neither one of them know exactly what to do here. We need to base up on the bottom.
Yep. And Ray should be trying to break him down and staying behind his armpits. Good. He's going for an ankle and driving. Something we teach them and have them do every day.
Yep.
I don't like that reaching in front of the arms like that.
Ben's trying to base up and stand up.
We got to give a lot of credit to to Anderson County High School, you know, and oh, Ray's got it. Ray had the half, and he was able to do what's called a marshal. Got him over to his back and pinned him.
Winner by fall, Ray Anderson.
But a lot of credit goes to the administration, Anderson County, and Clinton High Schools for allowing these matches to happen. Let these kids get a chance to get out here and showcase some of their talents and some of their hard work.
Yeah, you know, with football or basketball, you get a lot of student involvement and folks come to the games and that sort of stuff. And you know, wrestling, you know, most of our tournaments we only get 2 or 3 home matches a year each, and it's mostly parents, you know, that show up to those, and you know, then it gives your student body a chance. You know, anytime they can get out of class, they're going to try to get out of class. You know, so. Yeah.
Oh, surely not. Surely kids would rather stay in class, right?
Yeah. From Anderson County, a sophomore, Mac Wood.
Nothing's changed in all the years, you know.
And Brosa.
Yep. Mac is another kid for us, first-year wrestler, just showed up, and we put him to work.
And this Aiden's back up, so like I was saying earlier, he's only been on the mat for about 3 weeks, and he's done well for the experience that he has.
Yep. That was actually a really good transition. You wouldn't know that Mac was that inexperienced with the way he transitioned into that. But right there, he kind of gave it up a little bit. He should have got his body out to the side and teed him up. But
it was a good roll through.
Good roll through.
Reversal.
Entertaining match, folks. Don't blink. You might miss something.
Yeah. That's just inexperience is what that right there was, you know. I mean,
you never know what's going to happen.
Right.
But the kids are having fun, right?
Yeah, that's one thing about these lighter weight classes. I mean, you see it with some of the you know, up 170s and that sort of stuff, but kids are just fast.
They really they can be quick. Looks like we got maybe a little bit of blood time here. Somebody's bleeding.
It looks like. Busted nose is very common in this sport.
Busted nose, busted lip.
Yeah. And I think our Caleb Kendall, he had a few weeks ago, he had a pretty good busted nose, and of course they got, you know, the little plotters that they put up in there.
Yep.
And
they actually taped around his face and head. I saw that.
It kept falling out, so they wrapped his face up. And, you know,
was that at districts or regions? I was there at that
regions,
match.
I think it was. It might have been at both.
I think at Gibbs is where I saw it.
Yeah.
And he was really bleeding a lot from his nose. But he's a tough kid. You know, they shoved the cotton balls up in his nose, and then they just basically put tape around his nose that wrapped around his head.
Yep.
To hold it in place, and he went out there and finished the match.
I've seen that a lot this year. I didn't see that too much last year. You know, we've seen a lot of bloody noses last year, but I don't know if it's just something they're trying to, you know, because those cotton balls, they do fall out, and you know, you're trying to breathe through your nose a lot, and you know, it makes it definitely compounds your issues. You know, you're already breathing hard.
You're already fighting for your life, gasping for air.
Right.
You know, and then you block off the nose, it makes it even worse. Looks like we're going to get a few more exhibition matches, though.
Yeah.
We got some kids on the sidelines. That's good. Let them get out here and wrestle and have fun. We're here, right?
Yep. It's like Christian and Joe's warming up for Anderson County, and not sure who we'll have for Clinton to go against them. Still in blood time while we're cleaning the mat up.
What we mean by blood time, if you're not familiar with that, listening at home, there are rules on how much time you're allowed to stop bleeding. I think is it 5 minutes?
5 minutes, yeah. But
they start a timer.
They start the timer, and then they start the timer when it happens, and then once you get it blocked off or stopped, that's when they stop the timer, and then for this instance, we had probably another minute where we were cleaning the folks up.
Nice little shot by Mac. He's got him on his back.
Yeah, Aiden had a little blood on him and had a little on the mat, so that did not include, that part was not included in the blood time.
Yes.
So it was probably, I don't know, minute and a half.
Yeah.
So if he starts bleeding again, he's still got 3.5 minutes to
get the bleeding stopped.
Get the bleeding stopped. Yeah.
And the reason they do that is they can't let the match go on and on forever, because conditioning is a part of the sport, and sometimes, if you're taking 15 minutes to stop the bleeding, well, you probably don't need to wrestle, number one. If it takes that long to stop it.
Right. And then then on top of that, we've not talked about it, but injury timeout. You get, I think it's 2 minutes on injuries, if I'm not mistaken.
And we don't want to see any of that.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's just, while we're on the subject of
explain some
kind
of
of
the rules.
Timeouts,
some of the rules to the viewers at home. Good physical head snap.
Yeah, he felt that shot coming in, and
it's got an underhook, looking for a trip.
Wasn't able to get it. So we have some of our starters that didn't wrestle today. I see is Riley Silk and Hayden Harrell. Neither one of them.
Both of them really good kids. I think both of them are ranked right now, aren't they? Or close to it.
So,
They've been ranked at different points in the season.
Yeah, they're both really good wrestlers. They're really good kids.
And then your Damian Lavelle is ranked, and he's not wrestling today.
He didn't wrestle. Aiden tried to trip with a head toss there and didn't get it. Kind of got stuck with it. Adam Gonzalez, Alyssa's younger brother, he's a freshman this year. He didn't, doesn't look like he's wrestling today. Well, that may be it.
That may be it. Looks like the teams are shaking hands.
We're probably getting close on time, I guess.
Anderson County extends their win streak. Next on the schedule for the Anderson County varsity team is the state dual championship.
Looks like we'll wrap it up at this point. Again,
Dustin, it's been a pleasure talking to you. I wish you guys the best of luck.
Same to you. Good luck with the state tournament this weekend.
Appreciate it. We're just hoping to go out there and compete and see what happens. Just leave it all on the mat.
Yeah.
And but we look forward to seeing a lot of these same kids. We're going to see you guys from Clinton again in individuals.
We will.
There are a lot of tough kids on that team.
Yeah. And good luck at the dual state tournament. And as much as it pains me, as I'm wearing orange and black, but bring that championship back home to Anderson County.
Oh, if we do, it'd be awesome if we could.
Yeah.
But we're going to go out there and try. We're going to wrestle hard. Our kids are motivated and got some momentum. We're just going to try to keep that going.
Good luck to you.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Yep. Thanks for joining me up here.